And what have we been talking about with this defense forever is, at least I have, and I think you've been more or less on board, is, all right, if you don't have a good defense, if you don't have good personnel, at least try to have an identity. At least try to have a system. Say, hey, we're going to do this well and build off of it. Like we're going to play off of this, and that's going to be the foundation of our next step. And I keep using the example with Gus Bradley 2 seasons ago. Not a good defense, a very bad defense. Well, they did one thing well. They limited big plays, both passing and running. It was very rare, and that played to Tre'von Moehrig's strengths. It played to a lot of strengths in other guys. And we didn't give up big plays. We gave up everything else, but we didn't give up big, bad in the red zone, bad against the rush, bad against the pass, terrible against sacks, terrible with turnovers, but we didn't give up big plays. It's like, okay, we're going to build off that. Obviously, we didn't. New regime, Gus Bradley's gone, etc. It's so awesome when we hear someone like Maxx Crosby talk about the defense, and then literally the week that he did that press conference, we saw it come to fruition. We're flying around. We're being aggressive. We're getting in their face. And that's what we saw. We saw a very aggressive defense. We got 2 sacks in the opening drive. We can have the debate on how much of that was Trey Lance versus how good our pass rush was, but it's just opportunity. You take advantage of opportunities that come, and the Raiders did. Bunch of sacks, held them to 7 points. DBs were sticky. Pass rush was in their face. They were flying around. It was the defense that Maxx Crosby described. Aggressive, attitude, we'll get to a little bit over-aggressive, but if that's your identity, say, okay, if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us because we're over-aggressive. And that's what we saw just hours ago.
Yeah, I mean, they were aggressive, but they weren't like penalized a bunch or anything like that.
What I mean by over-aggressive is like they did a couple misdirections that just caught us completely off guard because it's like we're all flowing one way and they went the other, right? Like, I think if it's the starting Niners offense that are so good at that, it would be it's like, okay, that's how we beat the Raiders, is something like the Niners starting offense. But but there's a foundation there. There's an attitude and there's a foundation, and now you build from that, as opposed to offensive coordinators being like, double team Max, then do whatever you want. Now it's like, okay, they're going to be really aggressive. We have to make adjustments. We have to build a game plan. We have to try to play out of their strengths.
Yeah, man. What we saw was a pretty dominant defensive line, a linebacking group that would fly to the ball, and sticky DBs, man. There was not wide open receivers anywhere. Everyone had everything was contested or just out of the break, a very good timing pass, stuff like that. But no run after catch. I mean, as soon as the ball was caught, boom, on the ground.
Yep.
Flying to the ball, punching out the ball, forcing fumbles, some dropped interceptions, and also an interception, getting in the lanes, just knowing where they had to be. There was no like Spider-Man meme where everyone's pointing at each other. Everyone knew where they were supposed to be. Everyone was flying to the ball. And it doesn't take talent to be able to do that, to know where you're supposed to be and to give effort. And that's what they did. So I doubt that the second and third string defense is doing things that the first string defense isn't doing, but they just have more talent, right? And we heard that through the joint practices as well, that's what was going on. Flying to the ball, very turnover and ball minded.
Yeah. I would say the only downside I would see the defense is, like you mentioned, the dropped interceptions. There was multiple. Duke Shelley had one. At least one other, maybe 2 others. And then Webb's interception return that was almost a touchdown. That was the receiver just bouncing off his chest. And credit to Sam Webb, right time, right place, good reaction, got the ball. Good downfield blocking by the defense for Webb to make that return all the way down to the 1, right? So good things there. Hey, you made it to the end of our video. Great job. I know you want more. Go ahead and click the next video. And if you're feeling crazy, go ahead and subscribe.